live. Good morning.
Hi. Welcome. It's like jazz hands. Felice is going to jazz hand it up because I'm knackered. So Felice is going to do more jazz hands for us.
Whoa. Yes, I'm not knackered. I'm out of bed. It's my I'm on annual leave this week. Obviously, annual leave. I don't know what to hold it because I say I'm on holiday, but I'm not away.
And I hate staycation. It sounds so naff.
You do sound like a wanker, yeah, when you say it. So
I'm having a staycation on my sofa.
Yeah, pretty much. But this morning it was so nice this morning. I woke up yesterday. So I had this vision in my bedroom. I was like, it's nice, but it's missing something. So I was scrolling Pinterest like you do, and I found this picture of the bedroom, and it had like fairy lights up across the ceiling with like this kind of fake vines and stuff woven into it. And I was like, that's so pretty. So I did it yesterday. And it looks so nice.
Photo.
I will do.
Yeah.
So this morning, I don't have the dog. So the dog's with my parents on his little holiday. So I had
actual vacation.
A completely free week because I was like, what I need is to lie in, have peace and quiet, not have to go out and do anything. So this morning I got up, made a cup of coffee, got my laptop, put the fairy lights on, got back into bed, and watched Grey's Anatomy for like 2 hours before I got out. I was like, oh my God, this is so
brilliant. And then you're like, Michelle, you haven't sent me anything. I'm like, oh crap, yes, no, I haven't.
Yeah, it was like 10 to 10. I was like, I really should get up and start setting up for the live. Yes, here we are. Welcome. I know we haven't seen you guys for a few weeks. Well, actually, how long's it been? We didn't do one last week.
We had one the week before.
And then we didn't have one for the 2 weeks before that.
No.
It's oh my God, we've been slacking, haven't we?
People being poorly, people on actual holidays.
Yeah, and it's you know what? It's August. People aren't around anyway, so no. We'll be back next week. Back on it.
Get on it. Get down on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the consequence of that is I had so many saved up for this that it was a real struggle to pare it back to only 3. Oh, we got comments again.
Yeah, I just saw. I was like, oh,
Vanessa. So brand new, we are now streaming this live on YouTube as well as LinkedIn. We did the last time, and then last time no comments were showing up on here on the platform. So Michelle was having to keep an eye on, and I think we still don't get all of them. So Michelle's having to keep an eye on the comments actually on LinkedIn because there was just we thought we were all by our lonesome last time. And then
we noticed, yes.
Michelle's like, oh my God, no, there's comments. So yeah, we're streaming on YouTube as well now. We got 0 views on the first one, which to be fair, we didn't promote it at all.
Didn't promote this time either, so we will match that, I would imagine, and that is fine because we don't do this for views. We do this for cathartism.
Yeah.
Whatever the word is.
And also I realized that I was like every week, because what the plan was to upload these into a playlist on YouTube, and I'm just not organized enough to do it every week, so there's just like huge gaps. Sometimes I'll upload, sometimes I don't. And then I realized if you stream it to YouTube, it automatically saves it in the channel. So I was like, job done. Not quite the same as having it in a playlist, but it's there.
It is.
It's there. So if we ever did want to do this properly, the content's already there, and I don't have to go through like months of backlog, which is enough to make me not want to do it.
No, exactly. Exactly. It's like too much admin. Admin sucks butts.
Yeah. And when a job when you know that there's going to be a whole load of admin to do, it just makes you not want to do it at all. But yes, welcome. If this is your first time joining, sorry, that was just a lot of waffle. If anyone's brand new to us, you're like, what have I joined?
Yeah, no, it's just 2 birds waffling on. Birds.
Yeah, just chatting about our week.
Weather this Friday.
2 feminist maniacs. Yes, weather this Friday. It was storming this morning, so proper thunder and lightning added to the cozy vibes. But now it's just muggy as fuck. Yeah, and so hot.
It's, as you can see with what I'm wearing, I have a jumper on. It is kind of sunny but cloudy, mostly cloudy. grey clouds. Yeah, I haven't been outside. I have been outside. I went outside to feed the rabbits this morning, but I had my dressing gown on, so I don't know what the temperature is. So
yeah. So yeah, it's warm, it's close, muggy, all the words.
Close and muggy in the north, in the south, and then in the north it's like
chilly. It's like autumn. You're getting autumn now.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, and this is it now. This weekend I'm going to my parents. They stored a bunch of stuff for me when I moved, and I'm going to dig out all my autumnal and Halloween decorations because that's going to be going up soon. Well, autumnal first for September, and then Halloween at the beginning of October.
Awesome. So you were about to tell everybody what
while you're here,
this is about, rather than just talking about weather this Friday.
I got distracted. So yes, this is WTF, Women Talking Facts. This is a weekly live where Michelle and I share our picks from the week of misogynistic, sexist, outrageous, awful stories that we've seen, and we tear them apart, talk about why they're awful. And then we did used to give them a rating, a question rating, and then award one question of the week, but we decided not to stop doing that because some of the stories were just too awful. Yeah, and we felt it was disrespectful to then rate them. So we've done away with that. But we will let you guys decide which ones you think were the worst. We encourage you to share in the comments. So as we go through each example, if you have thoughts or feelings about it, please do share in the comments. The only thing I would just remind you is that when you comment on these lives, these are public comments. So everybody on LinkedIn can see them. This isn't a closed private space. But, go off because we will.
Felice, who are you?
So, so I'm Felice, founder of Loud Women. So I exist to help women to show up in a way that feels authentic, that is fucking badass, and kind of push away all of the patriarchal stuff that tells women that they shouldn't be showing up, speaking up, they're too much, and all of the things that they need to be able to get past if they're going to build a business and promote themselves and ask for the things that they want and need. And I do so I do a lot of stuff around the kind of marketing and positioning and showing up and confidence building. God, you could tell I've not introed myself for a few weeks. That was like
no, so it made perfect sense.
Yes. And Michelle.
Yes, my name is Michelle Minikin. I'm an organisational psychologist, coach and author of the book Good Girl Deprogramming. It looks at all of the ways that women and girls are kept behaving by society through various uses of coercive control. And my job is to liberate all the women.
Yeah, it is. And make them what, Michelle?
Unfuck with a bull. All one word.
Love it. Yeah, because like we said it before, we'll say it again, the world is trying to fuck with women. Mm-hmm. Big time, everywhere. So yes, the world needs more loud women and it needs more unfuckwittable women.
Yeah.
Hey, Belinda.
Hey, Belinda.
Nice to see ya. So shall we? Oh, hey, Dawn. Behaving is overrated. Yeah, it fucking is.
Yeah.
And also, good girl is too ambiguous as well. One person's good girl might be something completely different from somebody else. And it's impossible standards, and you spend your lifetime trying to get it right, and you're still going to be pissing somebody off. So.
I always say it's like literally you're going to be judged no matter what you do. Literally, you're going to be judged. You might as well do what you want.
Do what you want. Yeah.
We're going to burst into Take That, are we? Do what you like.
Do what you want. Do what you like. Yes. Maybe that's our anthem. No, because it's sung by a man and we only do women things here.
Men. It's sung by men.
Oh, do you know what I can do today? Because I've got a little bit of time. I can work on a jingle. Do that. We can work on that.
Okay, you're going to be working on a jingle. Hong Kong.
Yes. It's been on my list for ages, and that's quite a fun thing to do.
I told you about the Suno app, didn't I?
Yes.
Suno.ai, and you can just put some words in, and it can make your whole pop song.
And also, I think doesn't StreamYard also have that capability as well? I'm pretty sure you told me that you were on a podcast, and they did it all in StreamYard. So whatever it is, yeah. So I'm gonna have a little play around, and maybe next week you'll have a jingle.
Oh, how exciting.
And it'll be full of swearing. Because, you know, we've realised, haven't we, Michelle, that we can say stuff, because obviously, you know, obviously LinkedIn is all like, but suppressing women's content and trying to be like ultra professional, which just means that old white men get the floor all the time. We can say shit in lives, and LinkedIn doesn't seem to be able to pick it up. Obviously, it can in the comments, so obviously we write comments. But yeah, we've said some really out of pocket stuff on here, and LinkedIn doesn't seem to be able to, you know, access the content for lives. So just putting it out there to anyone who might be getting frustrated they can't do or say what they want on LinkedIn. I think you can do it in a live. Anyway,
but don't take our, you know, this does not constitute legal advice, you know, please consult your lawyer before doing anything.
All right, what are we doing?
Kids, don't try this at home.
What are we doing? Do you know what, speaking of LinkedIn, we'll start off with this one.
I thought it would be really useful.
Michelle.
So I feel like I have been Felicia's apprentice in terms of causing a general menace on the internet. Matching energy with energy.
Match energies.
Yeah. And
we don't start shit, but we can tell you where it ends.
Yeah, and I used to be terrified of people like coming into my comments and being mean and like, this is not a post for LinkedIn. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I saw this bloke do one earlier this week, and then he did one maybe a day or two later, and I literally saw red, lost my shit. And if you're watching, Robert Baker, MSc Oxpsych, if you're watching, stop doing it. So he commented one thing on a woman, commented another thing on another woman, and I literally lost my shit. So I had to write, like, what are you trying to achieve here? You know, is there a accepted rules of engagement for professional behavior on this platform? And then I also gave them a little tip, because the more he comments on things he doesn't like, the more LinkedIn's like, oh, you're gonna love this then, and send them your way. And I felt quite good about that, because I'm like, no, I'm not standing for it. You're just picking on women on the internet with your inane comments. Anyway, I got really excited when like 30 people liked. It was probably my most viewed thing this week on LinkedIn. And like loads of people started commenting. So I was like, yeah, I started something. That's really exciting. So yeah, that was so yeah, I didn't like that.
No, I think anyone that wanders the halls of LinkedIn telling people that their content isn't appropriate for LinkedIn just needs to get in the fucking bin. They just need to get in the bin. It's not up to them. So Rob Baker, if you're watching this, not up to you.
It's really hard because I know another 2 Rob Bakers who are really lovely. So this is the difficulty.
Rob Baker, MSc, Oxford, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, he might not see it because he blocked me after I commented on the first time. Because Michelle messaged me and she was like, "Oh, guess who's back?" And I was like, I was scrolling through the comments again. I can't see anything, and she said, "Oh, it's Rob," and I was like, I think he's blocked me after I commented on the first comment.
Did you hurt his feelings?
Poor little baby. Could not give a fuck any less. He just commented again, is this appropriate for LinkedIn? I was like, hey, what's the guide? What's the parameters? It's not up to you.
Who made you the LinkedIn police?
And it's just the audacity for me. That just needs, like, I couldn't give a fuck whether it is or isn't appropriate. I don't know where the line is. I'm not drawing it. It's not up to him to draw it. No. It's the audacity to believe that his opinion has any validity, and anyone gives a fuck whether he thinks it's appropriate for LinkedIn or not, because nobody made him king of LinkedIn. But also that he believes that he should wander the internet. Bear in mind, there's 1 billion people on LinkedIn, that he should wander the internet and only see content that he deems appropriate, interesting. And I think I went and checked, oh, that's it, because I went and checked his profile out, and I said, well, given that this post has got about 180 comments on it and yours barely gets into double figures, I would say that LinkedIn likes her content more than yours. And I was like, maybe you should go focus on your own content.
It's a man in the arena thing, isn't it? It's that.
And
yeah,
I just couldn't imagine walking up. Can you imagine being in a coffee shop and two people are sat next to you having a conversation? You kind of lean across and go, I'm really sorry, but I don't want to hear this conversation. So I think you should stop talking about this because I don't think it's appropriate at this coffee shop. Like, you just wouldn't do it. And it's the same on LinkedIn. You're going to see stuff you don't like. You're going to see stuff you're not interested in. You're going to see stuff you don't care about. You can just use that thumb and scroll away.
Unfollow. Yeah. Don't like this content. There are many mechanisms, but if you comment on it, you're going to see more of it.
And that's the irony, though, isn't it? Is grown men complaining about an algorithm that they obviously don't know how it works. Because if they did, they wouldn't be commenting if they don't want to see it. But yeah, you comment on it, LinkedIn's going to show you more. But yeah, it pisses me off. So yeah, Rob Baker, MSc, with your, this is appropriate for LinkedIn, fuck off. Go worry about your own content, because that shit needs some work. And just because you aren't getting any views doesn't mean you're going to come out and hate on other people just because they create content that's better than yours. I think there's a bit of jealousy there.
Yeah. Jealousy.
Why is this woman doing better than me? Yeah, it's a twat.
It was a good post.
It was a good post. And this is the thing, if people didn't like the post, they wouldn't have commented on it. I was like, there's 180 people who have commented on that post. So clearly somebody wants to read it. Yeah. LinkedIn police. I'm going to say police people. Policemen, it's always me.
Oh, no, I've been told off. I've been told off 3 or 4 times for swearing. I was like, listen, Pet, from women.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like it, just unfollow me. Just block me. Yeah. You don't have to see it. I'm not going to stop swearing because you're sensitive. Sorry.
No. And it's just, again, everyone else. Yeah. Like, so I'm not sorry. It's like everyone else has to live by the rules that I set. You go, no. Yeah.
Fine. It's not,
there are things you can do. Yeah. No one's forcing it down your throat. You can block people. You can say, I'm not interested in this content. Like, train the algorithm to show you what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's number 1. What's number 2?
Number 2. It's just like I'm trying to pick the least worst to start off with. But they're all awful. Oh.
Last week when the Vikings posted a video announcing this year's cheer squad. You can see in the video Blaze Sheik and Louis Kahn, both making the team for the first time this year. Since the team's announcement, the two men have faced a ton of hateful comments on social media, including anti-gay slurs.
These are high talented athletes. We've trained our entire lives. We get put through the ringer through auditions and re-audition every year. So, I mean, if you can't appreciate the entertainment, the athleticism, how easy we make it look somewhere else. And if you're leaving your team because of a dance program or a cheer program, I don't think you're a true fan of the franchise or your team anyways. So
what was the experience like for you being one of the NFL's first male cheerleaders and going on the road? Because LA may be a fairly tolerant place, but I imagine you're going to a lot of places where folks may not be quite as welcoming of male cheerleaders. Did you ever see any anger in the crowds that you were in front of?
Yes, preseason was quite intense for us, but we have a zero tolerance on hate and hate speech, so a lot of people removed instantly. The Rams were very great and taking care of us, very communicative. They also took the same risk as the Minnesota Vikings with knowing they possibly might lose season members for the year, and they didn't care because they know the worth they put behind their cheerleaders and how they stand behind us, and also how the organization, what they actually represent in the community. So
yeah, so female cheerleaders joined the cheerleading team, and yes, and the insecure men went fucking mental. Like, so many, and just really, homophobic. slurs and comments. The men were very upset that men were obscuring their view and their ability to sexualize a group of women, and did not like the fact that these two men, despite the fact that, guess what, cheerleading started as an all-male sport. Women weren't even allowed.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That was exciting.
I think Ronald Reagan was a cheerleader when he was at college.
I knew that, but I didn't realize that whole. Wow.
Yeah, women actually weren't allowed to access because they started at all male colleges, like the elite colleges in the US. So, and cheerleading as a sport has always had male cheerleaders. Yeah. Men have always been involved in cheerleading. I think with the NFL, the cheerleaders, I think, have made that shift into more, it's gorgeous, busty women, they're there for the male gaze, that, and obviously they highly trained dancers as well, but the premise of them is there for eye candy for the men. So having two men, and especially two queer men, God forbid, join the team has triggered the homophobes. I'm really pleased that their team is behind them and the management are behind them and they're removing people, but it's
like 2025.
Yeah, there's two
We're
fellas
still having this conversation, and they're so good at dancing, and that's what the job is. There we go. I was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah, the point is to support the team and to cheer for the team. And often when you have men on the team as well, it increases the number of tricks and stuff you can do, because generally speaking, the fellas are taller and a bit stronger, just genetically, which means things like tumbling and throwing and stuff. You've got a bit more muscle underneath for some of the acrobatics. But just, the hatred that I've seen on any videos about these two.
I've seen them as well.
And it's
I liked them. I don't anyway, I'm not.
We're not.
You don't really go to football for the football and not the cheerleaders as well. Surely that's just like a side thing.
Yeah, but it is a side thing, but it's it's basically, I hate to say it, but it's kind of low level porn for men. The cheerleading, it's very sexualized, and the women are very sexualized, with what they're wearing and the moves and stuff. It's feeding into a men's fantasy, and they feel that they are owed that. It's that is something that's theirs. And then and then two men join, and all of a sudden that changes it, and they're butthurt that they have to look at men while they're trying to, fantasize about women who don't even know they're fucking alive and would never date them anyway. But it just gets in the way of their little fantasy. Yeah. So
crazy.
What next?
That's number 3. Ugh. I'm gonna go him who
How are we doing it?
The face that I would never get bored of hitting.
Oh, okay.
I hope will make Taylor Swift more conservative. Engage in reality more and get outside of the abstract clouds. Reject feminism. Submit to your husband, Taylor. You're not in charge. And most importantly, I can't wait to go to a Taylor Kelsey concert. I can't say it without laughing. You got to change your name. If not, you don't really mean it. I hope that America's biggest pop star marrying the pharmaceutical spokesperson ends up conservatizing them. Taylor Swift might de-radicalize herself. She might come back down to reality. Deep down, I think Taylor Swift actually was raised as a conservative that has gotten kind of caught up in this metropolitan liberal stuff, and she doesn't quite have an attachment to the conservative backbone that she was raised in, but this might reattach her in the best possible way. And I'm not saying this sarcastically. I've seen this happen time and time again. When people start to get married and have children, it starts to change your politics.
Obviously, that was a cut down version. That rant, I think, went on for about 20 minutes. Where he demanded that she have loads of children. Like, he demanded, and then he challenged her. I challenged you. It was just, the whole thing was just horrific. Just horrific. He, like you say, that's a face that you will never get tired of punching.
No. I love that. I love when people post this like a little meme of him, but they basically, because his face is quite small in his face, and then his head's quite big, so they kind of make his face a little bit smaller and his head a little bit bigger. That's what I see when I see him. But
yeah, of course he came out with all of this.
I think we've just got collectively stupider. I think we've got stupider watching like a minute of that guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the thing, like they're ever gonna see it. Like they don't give a fuck about you, Charlie Kirk. They could not care less. But he's not saying it for them anyway. He's saying it to dog whistle all of his misogynistic fans and the red pill guys. But I imagine if they did watch it, that they would just sit and just laugh at. Oh my God, can you believe you just said that? And the thing is, though, let's not forget that, this idea that they are going to be this kind of traditional couple. I think the opposite is going to happen. Like it's highly likely that he's going to retire from football after this season. So I'm holding out. I'm holding out for the ultimate. She's out to work on her career. He stays at home with the kids if they have any kids.
All the cats.
And all the cats, yeah. And just switch that fucking narrative on its head. Yeah. I think what an amazing example it would be of a strong career-minded woman going out, building a career, and her husband staying home.
But we need to we'll put him he's in the bin. He's kind of a long-standing feature.
Oh, he's always in the bin. Yeah. Everything that comes out of his mouth is gross and
trash. Can we just take a second here to say Taylor Swift's getting married?
Oh
New
my
album.
God.
Yeah.
So it's so exciting. It's so exciting. Yeah.
No, and I sent you this absolutely adorable post about what it's like a guy getting really excited. The girlfriend's telling him. I know it was just made up, but it's like I was like, oh my God, that's what James did. James was excited as we are, so that's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And he recreated the lover garden. He recreated the garden in a mind. And he proposed, and he used an local independent jeweler and designed it all specially for her. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, what a couple of weeks she's had with the new album, the variants, the podcast, now the engagement. And I still think there's more to come. There's still more to come. There's so many references to a backstage movie. We're going to go into one about Taylor Swift now. There's so many references and Easter eggs that seem to be pointing towards an Eras Tour backstage movie on Disney Plus. I think Travis may have let that one out of the bag a little bit on his last podcast episode. Yeah. So yes, we're very excited.
My Twitter is literally no longer misogyny and sexism, which is really interesting. So I actually have to go and look for it now because it's all Taylor Swift.
Yeah, my TikTok says it's all Taylor Swift. Reaction videos, people talking about this. Yeah, it's just brilliant. And of course, it's brought back as well all of the clips from the Eras Tour, because that's what my feed has been like 20% Eras Tour videos for the last 2 years since the tour started, but it kind of died off since the tour ended. But now this has brought it all back. So yeah, I think it's 90% Taylor Swift at this point.
Yeah, me too. Oh well.
So yeah, Charlie Kirk, man. Get in the bin.
No.
Get in the bin. All right, which one will we go next?
I don't know. It's one of yours. I don't know what yours
go in next. Oh, yeah. Where we go next? Okay. So obviously you've seen on social media at the moment, whenever there is a report now of sexual assault, the comments are just filled. They're filled with racism. This is where we've come to now, with the toothless, jobless wonders all out hanging flags up around the UK.
Oh, we've got them all around here.
They did it in Brighton. I generally didn't think we'd get it here, but yeah, they've done it in Brighton. motherfuckers. Like really early in the morning as well, with face masks on so they can't be identified. And I'm like, oh, I thought you're so proud. Why, if you're so proud, why are you not sharing your fucking face? So yeah, it's pissed me right off. But this video, I'll just show you something. This woman has done a compilation of the comments on this video, so I just thought that saved me doing it. So I'm just going to show you her video, and just to say, this is on almost every video news item where someone, a woman or a girl, has been assaulted.
Been arrested after a teenage girl was drugged and raped in a park. This is the response. That was the general response to the headline. Now, first of all, unless a suspect...
So now, the whole debate about, I mean, the data and stuff that people have been quoting and the stuff that's been in the headlines about whether immigrants are overrepresented in the stats and stuff, like none of this stuff has yet to be really dug into or looked at or proven in any way, shape or form. And we still know that even if there is an slight overrepresentation of specific tiny population of the tiny percentage of the population, we know that white British men pose the biggest threat. There's like over 90% of all violent crime against women is committed by white British men. It doesn't matter if out of that 10% there's a slight overrepresentation of 2% of that particular group. Like, this is what we're arguing about. Regardless of that, the inability to show empathy for the victim. And this is the thing, when these posts come out and stories are shared, overwhelmingly people want to talk about the perpetrator, the colour, the religion of the perpetrator. They want to have an outlet for their racism, and not a single one of them comment on the victim.
Teenager.
Not a single person says this is horrific. I hope she's being supported. I hope her family are okay. This shouldn't be happening. Like, yes, we can outrage, because you know what I also see when the perpetrator is confirmed as white? Fucking nothing.
Silence. Yeah, it's like tumbleweed.
They're not involved. They're not involved. And the problem is they're not seeing it, and it's not as widely reported because it's so every fucking day. So we have this environment now where when the perpetrators aren't white, it gets more engagement, which means we get more news stories and people share content about it because it's rage bait and it gets more content. And then people seem to get this twisted view that the only people raping women and girls are non-white people because they don't see all of the news. It's not reported on.
Yeah.
The newspapers don't report on it because it's not news. It's so every day that it's mundane and boring, and newspapers don't report when a woman is assaulted or raped by a white man, unless it's under particularly horrific circumstances, unless there is some news.
Or they're a policeman. We see all the policeman ones.
Or they're the policeman. Then maybe we'll get some coverage. But far, like there's people that have shared incidents of rape and said there weren't any rapes before this person came along, or we've never had a problem with rape. And then other people have literally gone to the crime statistics websites and go, this is a number of incidents in your area. Because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So it's feeding this beast, and it just makes me so sad, because this is what the victims have to see.
Yeah.
People
like,
are using...
Nobody cares about me. They're just weaponizing my trauma to suit their agenda. And I've seen quite a few videos actually around people debunking the fact that Nigel Farage et al. Are going to come and save women because they keep voting against anything that's, parliamentarily will come across to actually help.
Yeah, the voting history, they voted against any changes and any bills that have been designed to protect women and children. Now, the reform voters will tell you that they were just voting against specific elements in those bills, not the bills entirely. But 40% of reform MPs have previous convictions for domestic violence. I'm laughing. It's not funny, but this is the party that
these are not our protectors. These aren't our rescuers. These people are not going to save us.
Yeah,
these people are distracting us with their nonsense.
And what was they looked at the people that were arrested during the riots last year, you know, the ones where all the men came out supposedly trying to protect women from asylum seekers, and they looked at the percentage of them that had previous convictions for domestic violence, and it was fucking huge. I think it was nearly half of them. Like we're not shocked.
It's like we're allowed to rape, murder, and assault our women. You're not. Is literally the message that I get from these guys.
Yeah, at the end, they don't care about protecting women and children because they don't support bills that are designed to protect women and children. They don't keep their own fucking house clean when it comes to protecting women and children. They literally employ people who have been convicted for attacking women. And they only care about perpetrators who are not white, even though the vast majority of perpetrators are white. And this is the thing, and I've seen from the left as well, I've seen the opposite, and I kind of want to tell them to stop as well when they're coming into those same reports and saying, where are all the riots for this one? You know, when it's the perpetrators white. I'm like, please, let's not sink to that level. Let's not sink to that level with this stuff, because that is just as bad if we're using other people's trauma to push our own agenda. Even if we feel like we have justification or we're doing it for the right reasons, we can't be piggybacking when somebody's been through something horrific. So yeah, it's all of a sudden exploded. Like, you'd get a few, but now it seems that every news item that's shared online, this is the majority of the comments. Yeah. Ugh. Even the school shooting this week, same thing. Yeah. No empathy or compassion is being shown.
No.
Oh,
Weaponized trauma of other people.
Yeah. Okay, well, that leaves us with
a little bit of light relief, I think, at the end there.
It's like the least feminine thing I can think of. I would say, before we meet up, don't wear jeans. If you wear jeans, I'm going home. Done very frequently in the past on dates. I will stop a woman from drinking if I think she's had too much drink. Kind of like a dad disciplining his daughter away.
Everyone sing it with me. Stop giving in microphones. Stop giving those boys microphones.
Yep. This guy, honestly, the whole, like, he goes on, obviously she's stitched it. He goes on and on and on about all the things that...
I love the fact that you went to look. Those two things, I was like, send it to Fleece. Guess what I wore today?
I'm going to wear jeans and drink too much. What are you wearing?
Jeans on.
You got jeans on. I got like little comfy pedal pusher things on.
I was like, pants. I'm going to put jeans on.
I'm slobbing today. Yeah. I think his when he says, you know, like a dad disciplining his daughter, I was just like, sir. No. Yeah.
That gives me all the icks.
Yeah. There's something fundamentally disturbing about a man who sees his role with his partner as like a dad. There's something. It's infantilizing women, but it's also feeding into some weird kind of incest porn fantasy thing that it's just, just don't touch it. Don't touch it with a barge pole.
Yuck.
And this, sorry, guys, we're actually going to finish on a pretty heavy one. But we do have FAFO. We've got 2 FAFO. Cool. So we do have FAFO. But this one's pretty heavy, so trigger warning. So this, and again, this has not really been in the news that much. So it's just literally happened this week.
Morning. You told me. Yeah. I'm like, how's this not been in the news? Anyway, tell us.
Yeah. So there is a group on Facebook called Italian group on Facebook called My Wife, and in it were 35,000. The news report says Italian men, but I think, you know, it's Facebook. They could be from all over. And they are sharing images of women, mostly without the women's consent, in various states of undress or in the act of having sex. And of sharing these photos amongst themselves, and then, you know, comments on the photos, people commenting that they would love to rape these women, and, you know, just the really horrific stuff. 35,000 men in Italy in this group. Now, this group has existed since 2019 and has had multiple complaints to Meta. So I feel like something's obviously happened that's forced their hand and they've had to shut it down. But, you know, who are we kidding? Another one's going to pop up in its place because...
Oh, it was that Telegram group with, was it 75,000 men in doing the same? The
Yeah.
whole, like, Giselle Pellico stuff again. Like...
And this is the thing, when we talked about that one, that group, and so many people wanted to say, you know, that's just that group. Like, that's, you know, if you consider the whole population. And I say, don't be fooled into thinking that that's the only one that exists. These are everywhere. These groups are everywhere. There's other Telegram groups. They just haven't been found yet, or they haven't been shut down yet. But when these groups open up, there's 35,000 men. And apparently the group was open. So even if you hadn't joined the group, you could still view it. So the likelihood is that the number is, again, significantly higher than 35,000. And then these are people that saw this content, and aside from a handful of people, did nothing about it. So same with the Polycott stuff, you know, the forum that he was in, people saw this content, knew it was non-consensual, and didn't do a fucking thing about it. Just carried on walking or engaged with the content. And obviously in Facebook groups as well, you can save images. So these women have no idea who now possesses these images, who has saved them onto their desktop, who may have uploaded them somewhere else. Like, just...
Yeah.
I'm sorry if there's any men on the call today, but I just want to say, men, why do you keep doing this shit? Like, it's just crazy. But these are, you know, this is what our society is creating. So yeah, it's just horrific. And not all men. I'm going to say not all men, but it isn't only 35,000 men. Do you know what I mean? It's 35,000 men in that group. We already know that there are other groups, and there are far more than we're aware of. And so, you know, I think we need to face the reality that there are a lot more men, and probably men that we know, a lot more men involved in stuff like this than we want to acknowledge or admit.
So yes, Kathleen has realised that there's a renewable source of energy now, which is feminine rage. Well, obviously,
never it turns out,
no.
And in fact,
that's why this exists.
The more you use it, the bigger it gets.
Yes, this is what we. This is
But yeah, a couple of months ago, Facebook shut down all of the "Are We Dating the Same Man" groups. So, you know, that I don't know if you've heard of these. It's "Are We Dating the Same Man?" And the idea is a closed group, women only, or at least it has been. And the idea is that you can share, you know, a picture of somebody that you see on a dating app, or if somebody exhibits kind of weird behavior. The idea is that you can catch a cheater. You know, it's just like, is anybody else speaking to them? Does this person have a girlfriend,
wife, children?
Yeah.
You
know, if you've been on, the idea is that if a woman has had a problematic experience with a guy, or there's some red flags and some warning signs, she has the ability to warn other women and let them know. You know, it's all about women's safety. But it started getting reported by men who felt that they started reporting it for not being inclusive, because of course we know that Facebook really cares about inclusivity. Anyway, they started reporting it, saying it went against the community guidelines because men were being kept out, when really the men were just in there trying to shut it down because they didn't want women finding out they were being problematic. So they were just using the community guidelines to get it shut down. So then Facebook shut all of these groups down. But it's taken them till now to shut this one down.
Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah, where literal harm is being done. So yeah, Meta, Facebook, fuck you. Get in the fucking bin.
And now I've got Careless People. Is it Careless People? The book downstairs to read. So yeah.
Oh yes. Ooh. I've heard quite a few people say it's quite a harrowing read.
Harrowing. Yeah, and I'm still fighting to get back my my Facebook account because somebody thought it'd be fun to set up some dodgy Instagram account and link it to mine. Apparently that's the thing you can do.
I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah. So yeah, my that account was banned, and then my Facebook's been suspended, and I've had to get a blue tick on Instagram, spend £12 to even talk to a human.
12 whole pounds.
12 whole pounds. And honestly,
totally
I should not have picked the day that I started bleeding to try and get it through, because it ended up with him kind of hanging up on me and me in tears. So 2 hours of my life last weekend was spent trying to get on back my Facebook group, my Facebook account. And it didn't
hung up
happen.
on you.
It wasn't even hang. It was on a chat.
But he left you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, Faitho.
Cool. Yeah.
Actually, two legal cases. The first one is Noel Clarke. So, if you weren't aware, was it last year or the year before? The Guardian did an investigation, and they put an article out basically accusing Noel Clarke of some pretty horrific things, problematic behaviour, assault and rape of women. Multiple women came forward. Noel Clarke obviously denied it all and then tried to sue the Guardian and lost. So he lost this week. The judge basically said he was an unreliable and not credible witness. Felt that the Guardian had done their due diligence, that there was enough evidence. Noel Clarke even admitted to some things, but only things that where the evidence was you couldn't dispute it. And so, yeah, he has lost the libel case, which is, I think, a huge victory for the Guardian and for the women that came forward.
Not that he's got a criminal conviction for any of this stuff, but
no, but he lost the case. But it does set a good precedent for future articles like this, because if it had gone the other way, then it could have set a precedence which would have prevented newspapers like the Guardian from running these kind of stories in the future. And the thing is that we know that the threshold for evidence for CPS is so fucking high that sometimes
even if you
cases,
even if you film it happening, even if you stab a woman like 47 times, you know, it's the evidence base is so high. Yeah,
was it 3% of all reports to the police actually end up seeing even a day in court? So often civil cases are the only, or going to the newspapers is the only way to get any kind of justice, I guess, or to share your story. So this was brilliant, and I'm glad that Noel lost. So if you found out Noel, and obviously now he's going to have to pay a huge amount of money as well. He's going to have to pay all the legal fees. Such a shame.
Kill the marriage.
Yes. And the other big news, it's all gone very fucking quiet, is the Bardoni case.
Oh, how does
So the last thing we heard about it was obviously his counterclaim. Hers is still going on. Yeah, so her case is still going on. But his case was dismissed. He was told that he could come back with the claim again, but he would need to change the basis of the claims that he was making, because he was basically trying to sue her for defamation on the basis of what was in her original claim against him, which obviously you can't do. You can't, because court documents are public documents. So what was in her claim was a matter of public record. It was picked up by newspapers. They then reported it. He's now claiming that that's defamation. And the courts basically turned around and said, you can't sue somebody for taking out a claim against you in court, because otherwise everyone would do it. Like imagine the abusers that you just hit you with a slander or defamation case because you brought a court case against them. So said you can come back if you have a different valid reason, but you can't come back with that
Not
same
for the
claim.
sun. No.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "It's definitely coming back. It's definitely coming back." But no, it's dead in the water now. Because, and I'm going to show you a little video. There's many things. There's many things that have happened, but this one in particular, because she's been getting a lot of shit for subpoenaing content creators as part of the court case. So she's been getting a lot of shit saying that she's, trying to censor people. She's coming after content creators because she's such a vile, evil bitch. But let's watch, shall we?
Is done and over. Updates to the case this week have exposed his entire defense was a lie. 16 YouTubers and 20 X accounts were informed that their account information had been subpoenaed by Blake Lively's legal team. These content creators then waived their subpoenas live on stream, arguing that this was a violation of their First Amendment rights, even though the government is not involved in this case. And how this was a massive fishing expedition, an abuse of power by Blake Lively herself to silence content creators who were critical of her. And now we know why those creators had their information subpoenaed. Baldoni's PR team identified those content creators as people who had provided content or services at the request of or on behalf of Wayfarer themselves. In August of 2024, it was revealed that Justin Baldoni had hired the PR crisis manager used by Johnny Depp, Melissa Nathan, and her firm, Tag. Lively's legal team then asked Tag to turn over the details of all content creators who had provided content or services, quote, directly or indirectly, at the request of or on behalf of any Wayfarer party or their agents or affiliates, having to resort to a motion to compel in order to force Tag to hand that list over. On Friday, we learned that they had turned that list over, and those 36 creator accounts that had had their information subpoenaed were all identified as either directly or indirectly providing content or services on behalf of Baldoni's PR team, proving that Baldoni's PR is still actively influencing content creators and their content in order to continue his smear campaign, despite Tag trying to claim that they stopped working for Wayfarer in September, which can't be true because many of these content creators didn't even cover this topic until months later in December. But then
So I'm going to pause it because it is quite a long video. But yeah, the basic gist of it is that there's other stuff as well. So they've managed to get some emails from Tag as well. So even though some people refused to submit their emails, other people had, which obviously showed the other side of conversations. So a lot of these huge content creators that have been absolutely slamming her from day one with huge audiences, claiming to have, information before anybody else does, exclusive stuff that proves that Blake Lively's a liar, has been stirring up this shit. This evidence shows that they were under the umbrella of employed or that Wayfarer was potentially directing their content to be against Blake Lively. And there's so much other stuff that has already started to pull out the smear campaign. So there's emails between this guy, he runs this, he runs an SEO kind of agency website. He says that he never worked for them. There's email chains that show that he did, that talk specifically about which articles and which news items they want him to push up and to make, and to spread out through his networks. The evidence that is coming out is just insane. Like, this has been a coordinated, targeted smear campaign against her, and she knew it, and she's found the evidence, and it's all coming out. And this is why it's gone quiet, because the noise was coming from the coordinated smear campaign. They've now stopped because the evidence is here. They've given up. So all of a sudden we're not hearing about it anymore, which is how it would have been if they hadn't been doing what they were doing.
I wonder what her name's just literally just fallen out my head. Amber Heard. I wonder what Amber Heard is thinking, because this is exactly what happened to her. Yeah.
Now listen, I see, that Blake Lively's court case has still got to go through all of this stuff. But it's like there was another incident recently as well. There's another woman, I can't remember what relationship she is. She's like a friend of Justin Baldoni, has been talking about the fact that he adhered to all of the industry standards around closed sets and making sure that there's no recording equipment. And then in one of her posts shared a photo that she had taken of the monitor on set during the scene that was supposed to be closed. She wasn't employed, she shouldn't have been there. So even in her own post, she proved that people were on set that weren't supposed to be there, had recording equipment such as mobile phones, took photos of the scenes and then shared them on social media, which is exactly what Blake Lively had said had happened. And Justin Baldoni and his team had said, no, that didn't happen. And it's crazy. But of course, none of this is being pushed out because it's not in their interest to do it. So yeah, it's bringing a little bit of joy to me. But the reality is, like, her career will probably never recover from this. She will probably never recover from this in terms of, you know, her profile and opinion of her. It doesn't matter what happens in the court case, people will believe him. So I feel very sad for that. I feel really bad for that. But I also hope that this brings some kind of awareness to the type of activity that people can and do when they want to push out their own narrative. And there needs to be more, better regulation. Like, they need to be prosecuted, I think, for this. This needs to be against the law and prosecuted to prevent other people doing it. But
in real terms, this is America. This is with a president that America's got. The appetite to change the law to make this bad. It's like, that's never going to happen. But yes,
he's not going to do it. But I wonder if it comes under international law, though, because this content gets pushed out, and not all of these creators were US, and this content gets pushed out everywhere. I don't know, but yes, it's we were right, Michelle. We were right. We backed the right horse. Baldoni's the problem. But yeah, that's the faithos that it's, my hope is this is all obviously really good evidence. There's strong evidence to support her case, so I hope that she wins. And he fucked around and now he's finding out, and I love to see it.
It's probably not going to have an impact on his career. He'll end up in politics and becoming like the president at some point, I would imagine.
Even if he loses, it's not going to have any impact on his career. And even if she wins, it's not going to undo the damage that's been done.
Yeah. On that note, yes. We talked a lot. I talked a lot today. It's 11:30. I'm glad you did, because my brain is so tired. So yes,
it's because we had so much to talk about. Because there's been so much over the last few weeks. We haven't had our usual outlet. But anyway, thank you for joining, everyone, and thank you for your comments and for joining and supporting the live, because it's really nice when there's people join live and they add comments and stuff. It's really nice. And we will be back next Friday, usual time, 10:30. If you see any examples, if you stumble across things that you think would fit with this, do feel free to DM them on LinkedIn to me or Michelle, and we will just add them into the pile. We never have to go looking, because there's so many of them. They just stumble across the path. But yes, if you want to share any examples, then please do. And if a little bit of rage-fueled misogyny is your cup of tea, then we're here every week at 10:30. And we'll see you all later. Have a great weekend.
Bye.